Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video today we're going to talk about food essentials that I personally keep in my kitchen. I got this idea from a Simnit nutrition video where he goes over his 10 food staples that he always has on hand, and what I loved about his video is that he particularly is looking at things that are affordable and that are easy to access at a normal grocery store. Well, I know not even everyone has access to a full service grocery store, but if you're able to get to one, or you're able to prioritize going a little bit farther to reach one of those grocery stores and do that type of grocery shopping, I do think that if you have an idea of what's affordable, what is nutritious, and what is something that also you like, doing all of that will help with things like meal prepping and keeping that grocery bill down. So if you need some ideas on what will be affordable and tasty and last on your shelf for a good amount of time so you don't have to keep running back to the grocery store, and also ideas about what to make with those items, please keep watching. My name's KT and this is Simple Living with KT, the place where we talk about the issues facing our lives in a simple and mindful way. I'm just going to jump into this list, but certainly let me know in the comment section below what your staples are, or if you have any ideas about the items that I list in this video. The first one I have here are carrots. And honestly, I was not a huge purchaser of carrots before moving, but when the virus hit last year, I started going to the grocery store only a couple times a month, and we finally got it down to twice a month. That was it. That was all the grocery shopping we were going to do. And carrots are amazing because they are the thing that's going to last the longest in my refrigerator. I do not recommend this, but I've had carrots, they don't mold in the refrigerator and they still have their crispiness, and I think I've had them in the refrigerator for literally months and still been able to use them. I will say, when you keep them that long, sometimes they'll basically start making little white roots on the carrot. It doesn't mean the carrot is going bad. You just need to, peel it or wash it with an extra fervor to get those little roots off, and you can cook the carrot just as normal. And things that I love doing with my carrots are making stir fries. I'm just making, if I want to try to be a little fancy, I'll make like a honey roasted carrot either in the broiler or just even on the stovetop. The next thing on the list here is cereal, and honestly I've not eaten cereal in years. However, my husband loves this stuff, and so we are always buying cereal, and that's what he likes to eat for breakfast, and it just is what it is. Almond milk is next on the list, and honestly just before a few weeks ago it was plain old regular milk, which I'm not gonna lie, I strategically got my husband to go from whole milk to 2% now to a plant-based milk, because I am, for the most part, pretty anti-dairy industry, and while my husband doesn't fully understand this personal agenda I have against the dairy industry, I think that getting him to switch over to this is almond milk. Getting him to switch over to almond milk, I took as a really big success. As someone who eats cereal every single day, and that's something that he enjoys, I think him being able to also enjoy the almond milk just as much as he did the regular milk shows that there are easily accessible, let's say a little bit healthier options out there that people would actually choose if they are more widely available. And I think for me, that is what this almond milk shows. While I'm showing dried apricots, I'd say dried fruit in general, because I'm an apricot person and my husband really likes dried figs. And really he just likes figs in general. He's obsessed with them. we get the dried figs because figs are not always available at the grocery store fresh. Next for me is rice. And, growing up in a Haitian household, I would say rice was something that was always, always on the menu growing up. It was diri avec sauce pois, which is just beans and rice, and of course, like whatever meat on the side, and depending on the day, some vegetables. And that was like dinner growing up for as long as I could like possibly remember. And while I very much do love, beans, I don't make it that often, but the rice is something that I don't think I'll be able to give up ever in my adult years. I went through a phase where I was really a fan of canned tomatoes, and when I say a fan, I just liked having a sauce with my food. And this, once again, is growing up in a Haitian household. My mom would always make some type of sauce on the side so that, if the rice is plain, you have a little sauce. And so once again, I'm going to cheat a little bit on this item to keep my list at 10. In general, I say this category is snacks, and like having one staple snack for each person in your household, I think is basically a non-negotiable. Because since I started personally getting chocolate covered strawberries for myself and for my husband, it is these all natural gummy bears from the grocery store, the bulk section. I have cut out basically impulse purchasing at the grocery store, because I'm that person who would be in the checkout aisle and see the, dark chocolate peanut butter cups, or walk down an aisle and see the, ready to bake cookies, or walk past the deli and see the already baked cookies and pick those up in addition to whatever was in my shopping cart. But since getting the chocolate covered pretzels, I honestly don't have the urge to, because I know I already have something in my cart that I love, that I have planned for, and that is going to fill that need for something sweet. What is interesting to me about oatmeal is I have not been eating oatmeal as recently right now, because I kind of just have been waking up and eating lunch instead. And actually I should say waking up, drinking water, living life, and then eating lunch. I'm not just waking up only at lunchtime. But oatmeal is still a staple because I do love a good smoothie, and oatmeal is good for adding into smoothies to add just some extra calories and help with making you more full on a smoothie if you're having it as a snack, or perhaps trying to do it as a meal replacement. And we cannot forget that it is super duper cheap, honestly, for some oatmeal. Also, the sky's the limit for what you can do with oatmeal. You can, make cookies. You can turn it into flour and make bread. You can, blend it with water, strain it, and have oat milk. You can add it to a smoothie so it's more filling. You can have it as a regular bowl of oatmeal and add fruits and cinnamon to it, and just have a nice little oatmeal bowl. So you have a ton of options, and certainly if you haven't tried to kind of zhuzh up your bowl of oatmeal and you think it's just super plain, I would recommend, try opting to get some fresh fruits, or if you have frozen fruits, you can make a nice compote for your oatmeal, and I think you might like your oatmeal a whole lot more. I was debating putting frozen fruit on this list at all, but honestly, there's two main ways that I'm getting fruit in my diet, and one of the main ways is the frozen fruit in smoothies. I will say, over winter, I know I'm in Florida and I'm a big baby, but I did not make smoothies during the winter because I was always cold and I just can't deal with drinking a frozen smoothie during winter. However, now that we are in springtime and I'm starting to feel the warmth of the Florida sun, it is now time for me to start making smoothies again. And so frozen fruits are basically necessary for me, just so I can have more fruit in my diet. All right, and apples are the last item on my list because as you see, I didn't put any bananas on here, which absolutely are super affordable and easy to access, but I also need something that is, long lasting. And I want to be able, let's say I'm leaving the house really quickly, to grab something and go out the door. And really, I don't have many things for that. I could use the dried apricots. You can't really take oatmeal to go. I guess you could bring a little bag of cereal with you to nibble on, but I think the apple kind of beats out everything. You don't need another container. You could literally put it in your purse or, I don't know, hold it under your arm and you're like good to go out. I will say in general, there is a cost associated with getting apples. On a normal week, I'll get somewhere between like 15 and 20 apples, and depending on the grocery store, which is one of the two main reasons I don't shop at Publix anymore, is I would be spending about $20 to $30 just on apples going to Publix. But going to Sprouts, their apples are closer to $1 per pound when you get the apples that are on sale. And honestly, every single time I go to Sprouts, there is some variety of apples on sale. These are Gala apples, where they are selling them 4 pounds for $5. That means that it was $1.25 per pound. There was a different variety of apples that were $1.69 a pound. Those were the pink ladies, now I remember, and I did get some of those as well in this grocery shopping trip because I just really enjoy them. But once again, I get the apples because I only go grocery shopping once every 2 weeks. So I don't want to run out of fruit before I go grocery shopping again. And these apples always last the 2 weeks, no issues. And that's what I personally need for making sure that we're eating the foods that are going to fuel us and having them available and making it as affordable as possible. And in general, if you are trying to incorporate more fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet, look for the items that are closer to $1 per pound, because then you'll start seeing that it's gonna start making sense for you. If everything is, $3 per pound, it might not be the season to purchase that particular item, and wait till another season and look for something else that is closer to that dollar per pound range. In the description, I am going to list just a few ideas for each of these items that I have listed in this list, and I would certainly like to hear what your, let's say, grocery necessities are when you're going grocery shopping, and any tips that you're using to make eating, whole nutritious foods at home more accessible or affordable for yourself. And let me say, it took time for myself to figure out what worked fully in my household and for my lifestyle. And so it's not just about, going grocery shopping, everything turning out perfectly the first time, and you never having to go back to the grocery store, or your grocery list being really cheap or anything like that. It's about finding out what works for you and taking the little steps necessary to help you get there to achieve your goals. For whatever your goal is, there are going to be options. You just, need to take the time and be ready to take those small steps to get there. So thank you very much for watching this video, and remember to subscribe because every week I place videos on this channel about living a simple and mindful life, and I would certainly love to have you a part of the crew here. I will see you in the next video, and bye for now.